Welcome to Final Fantasy X-2, the complete story. You may think that this game is all about Yuna trying to find clues that may lead her to recovering Tidus, but it is in fact focused on the clash between the Youth League and New Yevon, as well as uncovering Spira's hidden legacies. If you're already lost, let me refer you to the last video where Zonico Candy talks about the Eternal Calm, and that should clear a few things up. Today's question is simple. Did you enjoy the dresssphere system for the job system, or do you think they should have just kept it the old way? Alright, assuming that you're all caught up on this point forward, let's jump right back into it. The hostilities between the Youth League and New Yevon come to head when the Awesome Sphere is discovered. The two factions compete over it, but Yuna's group, the Gullwings, hear about it and take it for themselves. It turns out to be an ancient sphere containing images of a Machina weapon called Vegnagun, secretly buried beneath the city of Bavel. The weapon has enough power to threaten all of Sphere, and even worse, its AI is unable to distinguish friend from foe once activated. While investigating the underground areas of the city to destroy the weapon before it can be used by either side in the upcoming conflict, the Gullwings discover a large tunnel recently dug into the floor of the weapon's chamber. They realize Vegnagun has been moved to the far plane, located at Spira's core. Disagreements between Spira's factions escalate when Baralai, Nuge, and Gopal, the respected leaders of the three factions, disappear. Returning to the underground areas of Bavel, the Gullwings discover the missing faction leaders discussing Vegnagun. They learn that the machine's AI allows it to detect hostility and respond to it by activating itself and fleeing, which is exactly what it did when it sensed Nuge's previous intentions. After a little time passes, Yuna learns that Pain had once been friends with all three men, assigned to be their sphere recorder while they were candidates for the Crimson Squad. The Crimson Squad was an elite group intended to be assigned leadership of Crusader chapters across Spira. 2 years earlier, in a cave beneath Mushroom Rock Road called the Den of Woe, just before a failed operation of Mihen, the squad's final exercise was conducted. Within the cave, the various squad candidates were swarmed by fireflies and driven to kill one another. The only survivors were Pain, Baralai, Gopal, and Nuge, who were themselves targeted by the Order of Yevon afterward when they revealed that they had seen images of Vegnagun while in that cave. Soon after, Nuge shot his surviving comrades and left them to die, severing the friendship that the group had had with one another. However, at this time, it was revealed that he wasn't acting on his own accord when he shot them. The feelings that drove the squad members to kill one another are revealed to have been the despair of a spirit named Shu Yin, who had died 1,000 years earlier. Before the four survivors could leave the cave, the spirit of Shu Yin, who conveniently looked like Tidus, required a host in order to interact with the world physically, had possessed Nuge, and later forced him to shoot his comrades. Failing to control Nuge, Shu Yin possesses Baralai's body, pursuing Vegnagun to the far plane. Nuge and Gopal follow in pursuit, asking Yuna to keep things under control on the surface. She fights and defeats each of her summons from Final Fantasy X, their spirits corrupted by Shu Yin's despair. During this mission, Yuna falls into the far plane and meets Shu Yin, who mistakes her for a woman oddly named Len. Shu Yin expresses his anger that Spira's citizens have not yet come to understand the heartache that war can cause, and reveals that he has developed a plan to use the old Vegnagun to destroy all of Spira, ending the possibility that there will ever be war again. In doing so, he believes that he will be making the world a better place. 1,000 years before the game, Shu Yin was a famous blitzball player in the high-tech metropolis of Zanarkand, and the lover of a popular songstress and summoner, Len. The two lived during Zanarkand's war against Bavel, and during the course of the war, Zanarkand ordered all of the summoners to the front lines, separating the couple. Believing that Len would die in battle, Shu Yin decided that the only way he could save her was to infiltrate Bavel and use Vegnagun to destroy Zanarkand's enemies. However, Len perceived his intentions, and unwilling to allow him to take the lives of so many for her sake, she followed him. When she caught up to Shu Yin and Bavel, he had just only begun to operate Vegnagun's control panel. Before he could use Vegnagun, Len begged him to stop. Shu Yin yielded, but a group of Bavel soldiers arrived a moment later and shot the couple dead. Over the course of the following 1,000 years, Shu Yin's despair and resentment over his failure to save Len grew to the point where they began to act on their own. Now understanding Shu Yin's hatred for war, Yuna manages to return to the surface, and the Gullwings organize a concert to which everyone, no matter what their faction is invited to. Additionally, the songstress dresssphere worn by Yuna is revealed to hold Len's memories, resulting in the sphere screen projecting them to everyone in attendance during the concert. Witnessing the images of Shuyan and Len's last moments, Sphere citizens begin to understand the unproductive nature of their disagreements. Although the factional fighting has ceased, Shuyan has nearly carried out his plan to destroy Sphere with Vegnagun. The Gullwings make their way to the far plane and find Gopal and Nuge already battling Vegnagun. Working together, they manage to disable the giant Machina before its cannon can fire on Spira. Finally confronting Shuyan, Len's consciousness emerges from the songstress dresssphere and convinces him to abandon his mission and be at peace finally. Thanking Yuna, Len guides Shuyan's spirit to peace on the far plane. The Faith, once located in Bavel, then appears before Yuna and thanks her as well. He then asks her if she would like to see him again. The Faith locates Tidus' scattered pyroflies and sends them to Beside where they reform. Thus, when Yuna returns home, she is reunited with Tidus. Keep in mind, you had to make sure you completed all the missions in the game to get that ending. So, which ending in the game did you get? Did you manage to unlock that great ending? We'll be back shortly with more Assassin's Creed, more Final Fantasy stories, and some more Mega Man. So make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. And if you just want to see me and Zodical Candy having fun with games and joking, and her telling me that I'm horrible, because I'm horrible, so she tells me about it. It's a great thing that we do. She just tells me I'm bad. I don't know why I'm still with her, but she tells me I'm bad, but I'm horrible, and she just lays into me, and it's not nice. Go over to the Let's Play channel. We have a lot of fun on that.